A very pleasant good evening to you as we welcome you to the Storm Report, episode number 5 from the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University. We'll be joined on today's program by the head coach, Coach Bowen, and we'll also be joined by Luke Verbalaitis and Stephaun Peters. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Derryberry. Alongside my broadcast partner here is Mr. Ed Cole, and we're pleased to bring to you tonight the Storm Report, episode 5, as we recap the game that was the crosstown rivalry as we took on the number 12 team in the country. At that time, it was OUAC. It was the Spirit, Mike Nisbet, and all the pageantry that goes with the Ottawa Spirit. It was a big game for us. It was a Sooner Athletic Conference football game. And, Coach, all you had to try to do was beat Ottawa for the second time in the same calendar year. It happened to be 210 days apart. But it was it started off magnificent. We got a big sack from Stephaun Peters. You score first. And then things kind of went the other direction rather swiftly. 24 unanswered points for OUAZ. They end up winning the contest 52-34. What were the positives and the great things that you took out of this football game, Coach?
We stayed in the fight. Our kids played hard. We just didn't. But you can't confuse effort with results. We got to, we threw the ball well, had a ton of offense. We were out there for a long time. We had the time of possession we wanted. We ran 91 offensive plays. So we did a lot of good things, but you can't turn the ball over 3 times, and you can't get punts blocked inside your 30 and expect to be good people. That's just the way it is. It's football.
Certainly some challenges right there, as you allude to. Number one, on the bright spot, I did have that too, Coach. No quit. I thought that was something that was paramount to discuss. You guys played 4 quarters of football. OUAZ, they're gonna play you in a heavyweight bout, and they will literally box you for 15 rounds. That's what this team will do. And I thought our guys answered that challenge. They went toe-to-toe. You just going into the second half already, you made adjustments at halftime. I think we had 4 stops in the second half with that defensive unit. And even you look at another plus. I think that at one point they had 3 fumbles. We just weren't able to recover any of them. So you guys were jarring the ball loose. There was just a lot of great things to talk about in this game, but as you allude to, at the end of the day, it was OUAZ, and they kind of put it to us a little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'll disagree with you there, but because we did. Our defense came out, got three stops in the second half. We went down, scored, got it to a 10-point lead, and we've been known to score a lot of points. It's just you can't turn the ball over. I mean, our offense wasn't stopped. We stopped ourselves. Penalties and turnovers. And maybe then it's a different outcome. But, hey, give them credit. They won the game, and so they move on, and we lick our wounds and get ready for Lyon.
Coach, when you've got Austin McCullough with what he was able to do as far as running the tempo and continuing that tempo, kind of trying to stop you from making those adjustments and sub guys in and out, is it easy? Can you counteract what he was able to do? Can you flip the script on an offense like that that's trying to put the pressure on you and trying to put their boot on your neck? Can you flip that in your favor from a defensive standpoint? And were you able to do that at points on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, it's no different for our guys. I mean, we're an up-tempo offense, so our guys practice against it all the time. So, they did some things with personnel groups and stuff. You going from no tight end to 1 tight end, 2 tight ends, and such. But we made some adjustments. But and the bottom line is they executed, and sometimes we gave them a short field to make it easier on them. But our defense stayed in the fight and did some good things also. But ultimately, they won the game.
5 for 5 in the red zone, Coach. That we always talk about red zone efficiency. I thought that the offensive line came to play football. They were able to get some good push. Aiden Quinn had another couple touchdowns. He continues to be impressive running behind that offensive line. But you were able to be 5 for 5 in the red zone and 5 rushing touchdowns. That's a pretty nice number on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the stuff that we did, I mean, yeah, 5 for 5 in the red zone. Control the clock. Got the ball to our best receiver a lot, which was the plan. Control the number of plays. We outdid them there. So we did the things that we wanted to do. The game plan was solid. The coaching staff did a good job putting things together. We just have to execute on a more consistent basis. And if we do that, we're very formidable.
Coach, you talked about John Cole, 15 catches, 185 yards. That kid fought his guts out, just like the entire team But for Johnny to get 15 catches, a team record, and almost 200 yards receiving, he laid it all on the line.
Yeah, I mean, he played well, did a lot of good things, and that was kind of the plan coming in, to let the big dog eat. That was – and John did a good job, and Tyler did a good job getting him the football, and so there were some positives there for sure.
And Kevin mentioned how great Aiden Quinn, he got the 2 touchdowns, but 5 rushing touchdowns overall. You got to be pleased with your ground game and what you were able to do against them, 170 yards rushing and those 5 tutties.
Yeah, I mean, we want to run the football. It's kind of one of those weird things. You look at 5 rushing touchdowns, but we threw the ball 56 times. So, and we still ran it 35 times. So. It was just one of those games where, just things just didn't fall into line. That's just the bottom line. And disappointing, but, you can't live in the past now. So you move on and get ready for for Lyon.
56 times, Coach. When you look at the game script, where did that number kind of change at some point? Obviously, during the comeback, you have to kind of throw out the game script at this point. Late in that second half, they had taken a significant lead, so now you're in comeback mode. So maybe you change up the game plan a little bit. Even though Tyler Duncan, he did throw 56 times, completed 35 of those, the 2 picks, but 467 total yards. He was able to get it done both with his feet and with the arm.
Yeah, Tyler did a lot of good things. We just got to protect the football. We can't throw interceptions, and like I said, he's a quality young man. Does a great job. He's been with us several years. He knows the expectations and what to do. The interceptions come when he's trying to make plays, but sometimes the right play is not to throw the ball. And then that's a lesson that quarterbacks always have to learn, and sometimes it's a hard lesson.
Coach, it seemed like there was a couple of funky calls during the contest that we weren't necessarily clear on what happened. Do you recall anything that was bizarre as far as the officiating went during that contest, as far as what good, bad, or indifferent? I just thought there was a couple unique plays that were on your sideline, maybe a chance to get a fumble, and then David Jones subsequently takes the ball away. Maybe it was John Cole on that sideline there. What did you see throughout that game from your vantage point there?
The fumble by John there was a correct call. He was in bounds when he got it. It was close, but he was in bounds, and they made the one where Derek Anderson fumbled, and they made the right call there because actual Ottawa recovered it, but he was sitting out of bounds as he touched the ball, so we didn't lose the ball there. We ended up having to punt, but we lost the ball. The touchdown that was called back, that was a good call too. We had a lineman downfield about 15 yards. So.
That one stung a little bit too. That was a heck of a play.
Yeah, it was. That was a rough one, and so I mean, I go back and evaluate all the calls, and the officiating in the Sooner Athletic Conference is actually really good.
It is.
They do a good job, and I mean, there's been very few times where I've been able to find, a judgment call is a judgment call. 50-50 ball, pass interference stuff, it is what it is. You can't do that. But with calls where you're looking at, that aren't judgment type calls, it's just a rule. They didn't make any mistakes really.
Coach, can you give us an update on Antonio? He had the soft tissue injury on Saturday. How's he doing?
Yeah, he's still a little swollen with the leg and stuff, and he was in with Travis and his staff getting evaluation and treatment today, and we'll see how it is tomorrow. We always have quick turnarounds. We play week to week, And it being a fly week, it's going to be kind of hit or miss whether he's able to go this week or not.
So if he's not, will Jackson get the start, Ortiz?
We'll see. The freshman got thrown into the fire, and he held his own. He did a nice job. Alex Morgan is coming back, from injuries and stuff, and so we'll see who's in the mix there. And we also got another freshman, Griffin Meyer, that's played a lot of football this year and has been on the varsity all year, and also got a lot of reps with the club team. So we should be okay. We'll be okay. But hopefully we get Antonio back at some point in time here soon.
Coach, Deion Horton had a chance to defend Brandon McLaughlin at one point, and Brandon McLaughlin is he's a formidable player. He's a tough receiver to stop. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of speed. He's got great hands. He works with a great quarterback. In just a couple of games, it seems like Brandon has over 300 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns in just 3 games. He's been a load to deal with, but I thought Antonio slowed him down early until he got banged up. That was really a tough blow for your defense, but I thought Deion Horton, in the times that he had to defend Brandon McLaughlin, I thought he battled as well.
Yeah, he's a quality receiver. I'm glad he's going to be graduating.
We're glad he's going to be graduating too, Coach.
Get him out of the league, and he does a nice job. Our guys, were did some good things early, and but he made some plays, and as a top receiver in the conference is going to do. You just try to limit that, and don't give up the real big plays, and make him earn everything, and he's going to get his share.
And, they do have good players, Coach. OUAZ is well coached. Austin McCullough, first-team SAC player, 4 300-plus yard games against you guys. He's a pinpoint passer, another 3, 12, and 5. He's only 23-6 as a starter. He's a good football player. Sometimes we can, just recognize that, doff your cap, and say, all right, we'll get you next time.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. He's done good things while he's played in the league, and he's definitely one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. And, I would take him. I would take obviously I wouldn't trade Tyler, and the Barlow kid from Sagu puts up good numbers too.
Yes.
If you have a team with one of those 3 quarterbacks, you're in good shape. But I wouldn't trade Tyler for anybody. He's got a unique skill set, and I'll stick with my guy.
He's worth the price of admission for us. We love watching him play, and we certainly enjoy the interaction he has leading this football team. You guys are watching the Storm Report. We're talking ACU football and a tough one that we lost over the weekend against OUAZ. Jeff Bowen's our head coach. He's the front man, and we'll have Coach Bowen back here shortly in the program as we look ahead to Lyon College. But one of those guys that started off the game with a bang-bang play, that was Stephaun Peters. Stephaun Tank Peters, one of our guests. He'll join the set next. You're watching the Storm Report from the Sports Grill here. Where are we at? From the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University. Welcome back to the Storm Report on the campus of Arizona Christian University. I'm your program host, Kevin Derryberry. On the set with us, my co-host Ed Cole, and we have Stephaun Tank Peters, number 6, and of course Luke Verbalaitis. Luke was here in studio. I thought Luke was going to come up after Stephaun, so it was all about giving Stephaun, the lead dog role, the alpha dog treatment. But we're going to share the time to share the spotlight with Luke Verbalaitis, the pride of Pinnacle High, joined us here on the program. Guys, tough one this weekend, but certainly want to doff our cap to you. Commendable effort. You went into a hostile environment. It was just a tough one in the score column, but you guys represented the program very well. Stephaun, your thoughts on this weekend's game?
I think we came out and played hard, and we finished. We played all 4 quarters. It was a tough game, but like I told our guys, that's what college football is about. You want to be on this Saturday night lights. That's an environment you want to play in, conference game, and come out. We took a loss. We'll regroup, bounce back next week, and have a good week of practice.
They say attitude's everything. Luke, how do you follow up with that? I mean, that's phenomenal right there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree with him more. When we came out there, man, we knew that it was going to be a fight from, the beginning, all 4 quarters. Can't take any plays off or anything. So, outcome obviously didn't come in our favor or whatnot. So, but we, the thing that we try to do the best is control our attitude, just to continue to keep fighting and keep powering on. And, don't worry about, what happened last play. Worry about next play. You know what I mean? So, just having that right, attitude and mindset, it was all there. We just, that outcome, ended up not becoming, in our favor or whatnot. But, scratch it off. We got next week to worry about now.
Right.
Luke, from an offensive line standpoint, to see 5 touchdowns up here, right here on this quickie statistics, that's got to make you feel good as an offensive lineman that you were part of seeing 5 touchdowns go across the goal line on Saturday night for the Firestorm.
Yeah, definitely, man. Kel McPeck, Ryan Vanderwerf, Isaiah Manu, and then you saw Will Chambers get some reps in there too, in addition to Jesus Renia right there at left tackle. Those guys are in that whole game, man. They really just pounded it out and, just made sure that they were owning their guy, doing their job and whatnot. So it's good to see, that statistic on our paper in our favor for sure.
Will Chambers, right? I mean, that's a SCA product. And that's Coach Chambers' son, so that was pretty cool. He made, I think that was his 2nd appearance of the season. He might have made his debut the previous week. But what kind of a dimension does he add to that room, being such a youngster, but able to gain some playing time early on in his career?
Yeah, definitely. He is a youngster, but one thing that I really noticed about him, getting to know him, is that he's really mature. And, he grabs things really quick and everything and gets the grasp of, what we're doing, how we're trying to accomplish it and whatnot. And, he seems like he's very coachable and whatnot. And, having him as a dynamic for the offensive line and stuff, he's definitely a great asset to have. And, I can't wait to watch him grow as years go on while he's through this program.
Luke, for you, blocking for Tyler Duncan, Aiden Quinn, Cole Davis, Alex York, scheming-wise, does Coach Nelson scheme you up differently to block for each one of these running backs, which one of them happens to be your quarterback, or is it kind of similar for each running back? Are there different schemes and plots and way you block for these 4 guys?
Yes and no. Obviously these guys have a different skill sets and whatnot. Some of them are more power runners, and a lot of them got speed. like Alex York and Aiden Quinn and whatnot. And Cole Davis is definitely more of a power back and whatnot. So, I mean, as far as blocking goes, we still block it all the same. We just try to block our butts off basically, just to open up the holes and let them do their thing. So that's as far as from a game standpoint, nothing really changes.
Stephaun Peters, take us through that first play of the game. It seemed like very early on you got to the quarterback, you sacked Austin McCullough, and that was kind of a tone-setting play as you were able to get the ball back. Your offense goes down, punches one in. It's 7-0, but you had a lot to do with the start of the game. Take us through that and your emotions when you were able to get that big sack.
Yeah, it was a new package that we actually put in this week where I go down the line of scrimmage. So I was actually expecting to get blocked from the lineman, but he didn't touch me. So the running back came to block, and I just shut him and tackled the quarterback. But I'm always a great energized person. I feel like I bring energy to the defense. So it was a good momentum swing and to get our offense on the field, because we want them on the field and let's off the field as much as possible.
Right.
So that was good, and it's a good start to the game.
That was a great start of the game. Coach Bowen, you think about that. Keith Sewell, you guys all get together collectively. You're looking for tweaks. What can we add? What can we take away? How can we dumb it down, simplify things? And then a little bit of your creativity during the week. It comes to fruition on Saturday. That's got to make everybody feel good, and you're like, okay, that's exactly how we drew it up.
Yeah, it was great, actually. It was a great game plan all week by all the coaches. They sit and dial it up in their offices, and we go out and practice it each week. And unfortunately, it didn't come out in our favor, but I feel like we play like great as a defense. We got to get off the field sometimes on third down and sudden change, but it's a new week, and dominate this week.
For you personally, what kind of challenges do they pose? I mean, they throw a lot of weapons at you. Marcellus, Chester, Wiley had a pretty significant game for him. How difficult was it to wrap up on that young man? Because it seemed like there were times where he was getting a free release almost. He was getting to the linebacker stage where he hadn't even been touched by anybody, and then he gets to run into you, and he was elusive as all get out.
Yeah, he was a great running back. It might sound crazy, but I would have actually preferred Shamar to play that game. But he got out early. But having him at running back, it was just a different dynamic because he was smaller. So, like, it was hard seeing him. Like, he could fit, like, under the line of scrimmage and hide behind his blocks. And out of nowhere, just like a quick burst. But we had a pretty good, I wouldn't say, we had made some pretty good tackles on defense. Jake had just a nose for the football. I mean, 15 tackles.
15 times he had the nose for the football.
Playing next to him is like a true blessing in disguise. Like, he's a great player, so that's it.
I think you weren't alone in your assessment with, we think we would like to have, all of us would have liked to have tried to tackle Shamar Moreland on that Saturday night. Marcellus was special in that evening. And again, you know, I'll give him the credit, what he deserved. But yeah, he seemed like he was just really difficult to latch onto.
Yeah, he made some great plays in the game, like great plays. He got behind his blocks. He made some good runs. He made some good cuts. We got to do a better job tackling and filling our gaps. But this week we plan on coming out on all four, playing all 4 quarters, and against the Lion, dominating the game.
Stephaun, they were able to get a really good first half, scoring 31 points in the first half. But that third quarter is when I saw the adjustments. Kevin and I saw the adjustments. We were doing the broadcast. We can see that the defense really stepped it up. Whatever you guys talked about at halftime, you really stepped up and brought your A game in that third quarter and kind of made it a little bit tighter. So did you see the adjustments and what you had to do to get to Austin McCullough and affect their running game? Because he likes to run that tempo. I mean, he's running a play. He's already lining his guys up. He's got his offensive line. He's got Chester Riley back there. He's ready to go. So was that one of the main adjustments that you had to make at halftime to kind of slow him down and try to slow their tempo?
I think biggest for us, we had to slow down ourselves. And just because we were in a different environment in a big game, like Coach Bowen said, we practice fast. Like, our offense is a fast tempo offense. So I don't think it was nothing different than we see like every day in practice. But he's a different quarterback, so he does have a different dynamic to the game where they can go deep in one play, one shot. But I felt like we handled it better than most teams do in this conference, so it was good for us.
Luke Verbalianis is also joining us here on the set, offensive lineman. Luke, I see the fact that in 2019 as a sophomore, you earned the SAC Academic All-Conference recognition. And let's just be honest right now, that's what it's all about. I'm sure you've done that again the second time in 2020. But congratulations to your success in the classroom and your pursuit for your degree. My fun part of that same aspect is the last name is Verbalaitis. And my last name is Derryberry, and I've had a lot of grief and heck over the years on just how to say my name, what's the correct pronunciation, and the spelling is like when I get my mail, it's like it's comedy, right? So I'm curious for you, a guy that's an academic scholar, how often do you get mail or some sort of information that's addressed to you with your name on it or a name tag, and it's always jacked with the spelling?
Too much, man. To be honest with you, it seems like every other week, there's a little bit of misspelling. Like they either forget the A or the I or something like that. It's always one of those two things. So hear loud and clear on that.
It's always a challenge to spell that one. It's Verbalitis.
See how hard it is to spell?
Yep.
Thanks to Tim Goshen. He got that for us on our cheat sheet right here. But, yeah, it is amazing. My last name, it's spelled Derryberry, just like it really would read, Derryberry. But more times than not, it comes in a little bit tanked. So no pun intended right there, Stephaun.
So, Tank, we have easy names, Peters and Cole. So those are easy to spell.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Stephaun, I wanted to ask you, I see that you're from Tampa, Florida. We already discussed the fact you go Ravens and no Tampa Rays. But all of the Ons are in your family. You got Tyshawn, Devon, and Keyshawn. Tell us a little bit about your family.
My big brother actually coaches at Lyon College, a junior college in Texas. He's a receiver coach there.
Okay.
My two other brothers were actually great in high school. One of them was a 5A player of the year in Florida, which is really hard to do. But yeah, I'm super close with my family. Like that's like all my best friends, my brothers. They do everything for me. They text me before every game. We pray on the phone. Me, my mom, my family.
Wow.
So it's a great family. I wouldn't trade them for nothing.
That's fantastic. I'm sure they would think the same about you, Stephaun. Very well spoken young man. Ed?
And for you, Luke, Hugh, and Dawn, your mom and dad, and your brother Adam, talk about your family and what they mean to you, and the influence and the love that they share for you, and how they keep you motivated to do what you do.
Yeah, definitely. Growing up, my parents always had really high expectations for me. It was always, always making sure that you're getting your schoolwork done on time and everything, and your school comes before before your athletics and whatnot, or whatever you're going to be doing throughout the whole day or whatnot. And just discipline was a really, really big part of my family too, especially with my father. I mean, he was really big on that, making sure you're getting it done and you're treating people the correct way with respect and whatnot, and saying yes sir, no sir, and whatnot. So it's definitely carried on through my whole cultivation as being a young man.
And I think you'll be a good officer in the U.S. Army. That's what it says on the bio. You still want to be an officer in the Army?
Yeah, yes, sir. I've been going, honestly, I've been going back and forth between being that and being a police officer in the long run. So, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a mix that both, obviously require a discipline and whatnot and being in integrity. So those are two different careers that I look forward to. So.
Ed, you're not going to believe this. I would never invite anybody else into the broadcasting fraternity. But Luke Verbalaitis, you've got some pipes, my man. You've got a great voice. It's distinct. It's clear. You could always come back and talk a little color with somebody. It's somewhere along the line. You're always going to be welcome back here on this campus to talk with us about any sports. But you got good pipes too, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I got one question for you. You played football and you blocked for Spencer Rattler, and Spencer Rattler right now around the globe, really on the landscape of NCAA college football, Oklahoma Sooner quarterback. He's also a Heisman Trophy candidate. But you played with this dog, and you had a chance to go to work with this guy. What was it like being a teammate from him? And can you just imagine the success that he's having right now?
Yeah, definitely. He's had a lot of success, and it's just kind of funny because every now and then when I turn on ESPN, that's his face that pops up and everything. So it's definitely surreal at the fact that man, that was my high school teammate. But to be honest with you, it's just I don't really view him any different or whatnot. I kind of, know him for who he is and whatnot and what he's done and everything. And it hasn't really changed my perspective on him and what he's done and whatnot. So it's definitely pretty cool, though, to have, that kind of glory to go to one of your guys that you used to play with. So that's
more
cool.
Representation from the great State 48 at the position. So we see a lot of guys like that. Brock Purdy comes to mind, and there's a whole ton of others. But good stuff, Luke. Stephaun, I know that you have definitely in the Baltimore area. You're a Lamar Jackson lookalike, so you don't pay for any drinks, you don't pay for any meals. You've got that good look, man. You're a handsome young man, and we thank you for being on the show, Luke. We thank you for being on the show. Always, like each and every week, well-spoken individuals here, tremendous student athletes here on this campus at Arizona Christian University. Ed and I are just privileged to be a part of it. We're going to have more with head coach Jeff Bowen in a moment. We're going to preview Lyon College coming up next on the Storm Report. Don't go away. We welcome you back inside the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University. I'm Kevin Derryberry alongside the head coach, Jeff Bowen, and my broadcast partner each and every Saturday night on the call with the color. That's Mr. Ed Cole. We welcome Coach Bowen back in, and, we turn the page a little bit. Now it's about Lyon College. We get to take a little roadie to Batesville, Arkansas, Coach. As we kind of joked a little bit before the program, the last time I checked with my travel agent, there was no packages for Batesville, Arkansas. So we know that there's a SAC football game up there that means the world to this program. They're winless right now. They're 0-5. They just got beat up by Langston this past weekend. But you, too, have had a lot of success against Chris Douglas and company. You're 6-0 lifetime against these guys, and you beat them just back in, March. So your thoughts on Coach Douglas and that program that you will face in Lyon College here come Saturday?
Well, I have a lot of respect for Coach Douglas. I mean, he took over the program late. COVID hits, dealing with all that. They also lost one of their iconic players in their program last year, and he had to go through that with the team and stuff. So it's been a tough start for him to deal with and try to establish a program, and that's not to mention just the normal stuff that you deal with when you start a program. So I have a lot of respect for Chris. He's a quality man, and he does it the right way.
And, Coach, the last two times you played in Batesville, they played you really tough. Back in 2019, it was a 9-7 game. The year before that, it was 26-23. You won in overtime. So, as you know, it's never easy to win on the road in the Sooner Athletic Conference, let alone win at home. So, you know they're going to be game and ready for you come Saturday.
Yeah, our conference is just improves year to year, and Lions always played extremely tough at home. I mean, we've had some battles there. We've been fortunate to come out on top. Like that overtime game, we were actually trailing with a minute 40 or something like that left in the game, and managed to go down and tie it and win it in overtime. And then we in the 9-7 game, we needed to stop late to preserve the 9-7 win. So we don't take anything lightly. I mean, 5-0, 0-5. Everybody's got college football players, and there's talent on those rosters. So you got to be ready every Saturday. I know it's cliche, but you got to be ready to play.
Coach, another good quarterback in the conference. We mentioned Jordan Barlow, and we certainly talked about Austin McCullough, but Isaiah Bradford, he's just another good one in that long line of quarterbacks in the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Yeah, he moves around in the pocket well, all those kind of things that you hate to see when you like the guy that just kind of stands in there and you know where he's going to be. But he moves around, delivers the ball, and you hopefully you can make teams one-dimensional and stuff. So you know what he's going to do, but he adds a little flavor to their offense.
Coach, I'm going to cue up that broken record. We talk about red zone and being able to convert on third downs and win the turnover battle, all these different things that we talk about week after week. We know that's going to be apropos for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I just got out of a staff meeting, and we're really focusing on that this week. Just understand the transition of a game. When the defense is getting stops, offense, let's get out there, move the ball and score, or at least move the ball and flip the field. And when the offense scores, hey, defense, let's go get a stop right now. Just that transition. And we need to start doing a better job with the turnover battle. We can't keep turning the ball over on offense, and defenses need to come up with some turnovers. So that's worked into the game practice plans this week, getting ready for the game plan, and just having a mental focus on protecting the football and creating turnovers and stuff.
Coach, we're going to go back to cliche and go one at a time. Why not? I mean, let's just make it 3 for 3 right here. But, Lyon College is the next game on the schedule. When you look at the big picture, if you can, we always put that emphasis on those SAC games, and obviously that is deserved. It's warranted. It is fact. Now with the 2 losses in the conference, you still have this season to play for, and there's still a national championship picture to get out there and still qualification for that tournament. Is their narrative changed? Do you still have that belief that we can still get it done without winning the conference?
Oh, I have great confidence in our players and our program. I can't control, and our players can't control what other people do. All we can control is our our attitudes, our effort, and our preparation. If we do that, then our Saturdays take care of itself. And this week, Lions on the schedule. It's kind of Belichick-like. We're on to Cincinnati,
Right.
Right. So we're on to Batesville.
We're on the line.
We're on to heading to Batesville and getting ready for Lyon. And we play it out and just see what happens. I mean, football's a unique sport, especially at the college level. I mean, what other sport where you can win 80% of your games and be on the outside looking in? I mean, that's just the reality of our sport. We get 10 shots and everyone's vital. So, but we know that it comes with the territory, and we prepare for that and let the chips fall. God has a plan.
10 shots a season. That's it. And then we roll it over and we go on to the next season. Ed, my last question for Coach Bowen is, we were talking earlier before we began the program about the price tag we'd have to pay for playing football in March and April and extending the season last year during the COVID challenges. Do you see any of those issues? Have they surfaced here on this football team? Do you see any kind of fatigue? Do you see where that we are writing that check for last season at this season?
I'm not feeling that. I'm not hearing that from the players.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, our last 2 weeks of practice and preparation have been the best we've had all year. I really like this team. It's in a good spot. We have good talent. Our returners are quality men that understand the value of being at ACU. It is unique, and then our incoming athletes have fit in well. So I wouldn't trade this group for anybody. If there's a COVID layover or a double season layover, there might be. We'll analyze it when it's all said and done and kind of see where we're at physically with the strength and conditioning staff and the training staff, and evaluate from there.
And Coach, go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry.
No, I'd say that's a good way to look at it. No doubt about it.
And you answered my question. I was going to ask you about having leaders like Stephaun and Luke Verbalaitis and other leaders that can step up in the midst of adversity, and you know that those guys have got your back, and those guys can lead the others who may not have suffered this kind of adversity before at this level of football. You've got those guys that can lean on the younger kids or kids that may not have gotten this kind of experience or experienced a night like the other night in Surprise.
Well, it's keeping in perspective. We talk about, in a lot of our core values, when we talk about our faith, our family, future, football, and how that ties to our 12 core values and being able to play from victory rather than to victory. We're not going to let a scoreboard define us. I don't feel any different right now sitting here than I did last year when we were rolling and we hadn't had a loss in the conference. If you're doing that, then I think your perspective is messed up, because all these kids are going to stop playing football at some point in time. So whether they have 5 games left or 20 games left or whatever it is, get the most out of it, enjoy the experience, work towards your goals, just like in real life. Sometimes you're going to hit the goal, and other times it may take you a year or two. It's just reality. That's the real world.
Coach, super proud to be a part of this organization, super proud of your leadership and your representation as our front man. And, you and I kind of had some fun before the Ottawa game just about, the players taking on parts of your demeanor and whatnot. And just one little snippet to hear Stephaun Peters talk about how we're going to roll with this loss and roll with our attitude moving forward. And you just kind of echo that same sentiment. It's the process, it's the vision, it's how you walk the walk, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of, Coach. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I mean, we have great young men. I love watching them grow into quality, people in our community, husbands, fathers. To me, that'll beat any ring I put on my finger. And don't get me wrong, we're going to compete and we're going to go after it. And I think that's been our program year in and year out. We've only been around for going on 8 years, but we've shown we're going to be one of the top teams in our conference every year. And we're going to stay in the fight, but we're just not going to mortgage our future on wins and losses.
And that's what we call a program, and that's what we have here at Arizona Christian University. Ed, your final thought for Coach B.
Oh, he wrapped it up perfectly. Yeah, again, thank you, Coach, for allowing us to be a part of this and be represent you in the program from a broadcasting standpoint. It's been so much fun, and it's an honor and a blessing for Kevin and I to do this.
I appreciate everything you guys do. This is great for our players to be able to see and be a part of this, and then also for our fans and families that may not be in the state. It gives them a little taste of what we do and how we do it each week. So I appreciate what you guys are doing, and Tim Goosen for putting this all together every week.
I think at this point we say check, please. And then now we're going to turn our attention to the menu in Batesville. We got a seafood place to stop at, some serious grub to take in before we play tackle football.
All you can eat.
I try to make sure our guys eat well when we're on the road. So,
Luke and Tank are happy about that.
They're smiling. They know.
They can't wait to get there Saturday.
I'm sure you guys could have some fun in the eating category. Just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. We all could, I'm sure.
That's our fifth pillar that we don't talk about. Faith, family, future, football,
and food.
And
That's right.
Food. Yeah. A little grub. Special thank you to Robert Nielsen, of course, and Tim Goosen, for Ed Cole and head coach Jeff Bowen, and our talented guests here, Luke Verbalaitis and Stephaun Peters. I'm Kevin Derryberry. Until next time, so long for now.